Hello everyone, this is Impulse and welcome back to HermitCraft Season 5. Guys, we got to do some stuff today. I got some big plans. And yeah, I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to get to it. But first, I added some doors on here so I could AFK. I could just come in here and don't have to worry about anybody sneaking up on me. Oh, it helps if I get in between the actual fence posts first. There we go. Yeah, now I can just stay in here. I don't have to worry about, you know, anybody sneaking up on me, creeper coming in here and destroying my day, anything like that. But look at how many levels I've got just from doing this. Every once in a while, just come in here and do this. And then, you know, all the stuff we pick up, we have to kind of do this with. Getting a lot of stuff. This thing is insanely fast. It really depends on who's on the server. Right now it's Python, so it seems like he's not really loading too many mobs or anything because it's actually coming pretty fast right now. And then as soon as I get in here and fill up the mob cap, I mean, that happens quick, doesn't it? They come in here and they fill up the mob cap super quick, and then we can come in and get all the XP. 118 levels, working on 119 almost. Insane. I am extremely happy with how this has turned out. I do have to admit to something. I made a slight error in judgment last episode. I thought we only had to open up skylight above the actual spawning tanks. What I didn't think of, and you can see I've already done it, is there's pack spawning, which occurs up to like 6 blocks out, I think, in all directions from the spawn spaces, that it's looking for to see if there's spawnable space. So we needed to actually open up a skylight above those 6 blocks out spaces as well, so you can see all that glass. Now this is going to present a bit of a challenge. You can see most of my circle now is glass, but when we build up Atlantis, we're going to have to make sure we continue to allow skylight. There's some tricks, you know, different items we can use in the game, such as carpet and trapdoors and things like that, to still let light through and be able to build stuff up. But yeah, definitely going to be a challenge now. So I got to figure out how we're going to go about that. I thought about just moving the entire circle and the entire island back and not having anything directly over the Guardian farm. I'm not sure I want to do that yet. I'm still thinking about that. But the other thing I'm thinking about, and I mentioned it, we're going to do 2 floors in here. oh, sand. I have some signs up for Mumbo. I'm going to let him borrow my sand, guys. He was going to try to gather it all himself. And I think he actually did. I think he gathered it all himself. I'm pretty sure he did. But if you watch Mumbo's videos, you probably know by now, he had a slight issue happen where he lost a lot of his sand. I can tell you from experience, when I was doing the filling in of sand in the 18-hour AFK session, I couldn't sleep that night. I was so worried that was going to happen to me that I really couldn't sleep very well. I got up super early in the morning to check on it and things like that. I got lucky and everything went to plan, but unfortunately for Mumbo, his didn't. And so, yeah, I'm going to let him borrow my sand. So I have a little pathway here, and he can borrow the sand. I told him I need about 2 double chests of sand left because I want to start something today anyway. We won't finish today, I doubt it. But I want to get the glass walls up. Speaking of the devil, there's Mumbo right there. So hopefully, maybe he'll pop in right now and come get that. But anyway, I want to remove these sand walls and actually put in glass. You better say hello. Yeah, he hopefully saw my message on Discord where I told him where to go. But anyway, yeah, he's going to come borrow that sand, but I'm going to use some sand for glass walls around this thing. A lot of you guys were commenting saying, you know, this just, you know, by chance worked out. There was the sand walls that we did from filling in, and up against the prismarine blocks, you said, you know what, it actually kind of looks good. So I've been thinking about it. I was going to go with this style right down here. But this is really the style that I wanted to use for Atlantis, which I don't really consider this piece of my base part of Atlantis. This is kind of like the monument that was left behind. So in that case, I'm starting to think maybe what we do instead is actually keep the monument intact, maybe decorate it a little bit better, build up our own rooms, but still use those materials. And since sand actually doesn't look too bad against the prismarine stuff, maybe we could use some sand. And as in sandstone. Now sandstone's great. Somehow I ended up building like what looks like a face of a car or something, the front end of a car, but I don't know how I did that. Anyway, it was an accident. I just wanted to place some of these sandstone blocks around the prismarine to see the contrast. And I gotta tell you, I like it. One thing, you know, it's not the best thing I've ever seen, but I do like it. And I really like the fact that we get slabs, stairs, some difference in blocks, textures, and things like that. So I think what we can do is keep the monument and just kind of decorate it with sandstone and prismarine and bring that down as well. And then you can kind of see what I did to give Mumbo a path through the sand is actually where the floor is going to be. I was off by one when I first started, but I figured it out. We need to rebuild this floor, and now we can rebuild it out of prismarine and sandstone. So now that we kind of have a palette, we're good to go. Unfortunately, that means doing something different with these stairs because... yeah, the quartz isn't really going to go as well with the prismarine and sandstone. But anyway, that's kind of the plan now. We'll see how many more times I change my mind this season. But I want to get to a different project because I need all that sand to be smelted into glass. We need to get ourselves like a huge furnace array, a huge item smelter system. And so we're going to do that. I'm going to need a whole bunch of stuff, like 22 furnaces and 2 stacks of hoppers and all this kind of craziness. Going to go with a design, you probably guessed it, Ilmango. I did some looking around, and it seemed like the simplest design, you know, for 1.11 plus. And I like it. I like it. It does take a lot of hoppers, but that's okay. At least we won't have mine carts to deal with. So anyway, I'm going to build that up. I think I'm going to push it up against this back wall. And eventually we'll have kind of like this walkway around this thing. We'll encase this so you won't really see it. And then we'll have a walkway back here to the little furnace room. And so, yeah, this will definitely get covered up in the future. So, yeah, that's the plan. But right now I have to gather the materials. He's got an item list in the tutorial, which of course I'll leave in the description as always. But I have to gather those items up and we'll get building up this furnace array. Alright, so I got all the materials needed to build this thing. Next step is we need to figure out where to put it. So here we go. Wanted to put it on the back wall like I mentioned, and it's 5 deep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I believe the chests actually go on the 4 spot here. And then we'll have hoppers underneath them, of course, to collect the items. So we're going to do that. And I bet if I don't dig up this gold, you guys are going to yell at me. So I guess I better do that. People are always like, I can't believe you just left that. Yeah, I guess it's still early game. We should probably be collecting it. But yeah, soon, I bet you soon enough we'll have a gold farm. I don't know. Maybe I will tackle gold farm again. I haven't even thought about that. But anyway, we need to figure out where center is. So I'm going to gauge off the middle of this. Yeah, that looks like we are centered here. And what we'll want to do is, just for now, let me put down 1, 2, 3. Are we still good? Yeah. So this is kind of the center, and we need to figure out where these are going to go. So if we do 11 on one side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I guess I could have just looked at my items in my inventory and then do 11 on the other side, of course. Then this should end up being somewhat centered. I know there's some little bits and pieces hanging off this side. Oops, and I'm running into something over here, so I can't strafe anymore. Okay. Yeah, okay, there we go. So this will be centered. Now, I'm thinking I want the orientation of this to send the items to the left. I feel like that's probably where I'm going to more often go, is this direction, come over here, you know, put in the stuff I need smelted and collect the stuff out of this area here. So what we'll need to do is pop down a chest. I'm going to have to move, obviously, all these. Ooh, that's a good one. It's like Christmas all over again. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to move all these shulker boxes out of the way. But we'll put our chests here, and this will end up being where all the output goes from this furnace array. So I'm just going to continue building this thing up. It's fairly simple. I'll just build it up. I'll finish building it up off camera real quick, and then kind of give it a test run when I get back. There we go. Got it all built according to the tutorial, and have yet to test this thing. So first off, we need to put some fuel in here. So it's this one right here. And we'll go ahead, I got a bunch of coal on me, we'll go ahead and pop that in. And what we want to see is this get distributed to all these furnaces equally. So let's see, okay, getting some in there, 2, 3, okay, yeah, it's going in, it's going in. Oh, why is there 4 in this one and only 3 in this one? And now there's 6 in that one. Something weird here. This first one seems to be getting more than the others. What is going on? There's 1 in there. 1 in there. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be distributing properly. That's a little scary. It seems like this first one is getting more than the rest. Rest have 6. All right, well, I mean, I guess that's not going to kill the system, but it would be nice if they distributed evenly. I know there's some weird hopper timing stuff, and there's probably still some bugs in the game and locational stuff that's still going on. Looks like maybe this thing's not perfectly distributing, but let's go ahead and now smelt something and see if that at least works. So let's see here. We'll put the sand in here. We want to make some glass today, and hopefully all the furnaces turn on. That's the goal. If they all turn on, I think we're okay. And if we skip one here or there, yep, I guess we're good. Okay. All right, so I may have to just, you know, come in, and if some of them are getting fuel not distributed quite properly, that's probably fine. As long as as long as I keep, you know, 64, you know, and the big supply of coal in here, then we're good to go. I don't think I'm going to want to use coal in the long run. I think I'll switch to blaze rods eventually. Tango and I have started working on the makes of a blaze farm in our live streams. And I think we'll finish that one up in the live streams. And it's going to be a double blaze farm, which is pretty cool. So I'll show that off once him and I build it up, and then I'll be able to use all the blaze rods for this. Okay, so this looks like it's coming in. Let's see if we got any output already. Oh my goodness, this is fast. Yes. We're going to have plenty of glass to start filling in the walls here, which is going to be interesting. And once I get all the glass around here, I'll be able to take out this sand. So there's basically going to be a layer of glass on the back side of the sand. And, yeah, what did I say? Yeah, glass on the back side of the sand. And then I'll be able to take these out, and we'll have like a one wide space between the monument side and the glass wall. So that should be pretty cool. We'll be able to see out into the ocean, at least for now, until I build up some more walls in here. It looks like I missed a few blocks when I took out the pillars. Probably ghost blocks. But yeah, okay, so I'm not going to leave. I probably shouldn't leave this like this. We should probably decorate it a little bit, which I will do in a bit. But you could probably notice there's a beacon in the corner here, and currently have resistance 2 on. That is due to killing these guardians. So their thorns get rather annoying, especially when it takes away a bunch of hearts. So you can see now with the resistance 2, barely take any damage. Like, you can't even see the hearts go away, although you can see I am getting hungry from it. So it's pretty easy with resistance 2 to just, you know, keep a fish in your offhand, and every once in a while eat while you're doing this. But yeah, that's what that's helping for. And I decided I want to put a beacon in every single corner of this monument, because yeah, it does reach the center here, which is nice, but it would be nice to have beacon effects everywhere we go in here. And we could add more beacons to it. So maybe eventually we'll have 5 beacons on each corner, and that way no matter where we are in this area, we're good to go. That's going to cover a big distance. I think the full beacon goes about 50 blocks. So you can see, like, once we get over here, I would expect in 7 seconds for that resistance 2 to go away, because I think we are definitely out of range. So we're going to need another one, and to reach all the way on this side of the monument. Yep, there it goes. And let's see how far we go before it comes back right there. So you can see, you can get an idea about how far it reaches. Almost reaches the corner, but doesn't. So once we put one in all 4 corners, they're all going to kind of overlap, and we could potentially have multiple effects going on right here in the center. So I can do right now one of each thing. I think there's 5 different beacon buffs, so we'll have to choose which one we don't get. But anyway, I think that's what I'm gonna do next. I'm going to start putting in more beacons. What do I have? Where's my ender chest? I lost my ender chest. Oh, it's still up there floating. We definitely have to put this floor back in. Parkour? It's probably not a good idea for me to parkour. Oh, it's not in here. I wonder if it was it in that goodie box down below? Anyway, I think I have one more beacon that I can put in, but I don't have the iron blocks for it. And I know a lot of you are probably saying, well, maybe you shouldn't have tore down the iron farm. Well, no big deal, no big deal. Yesterday, I actually managed to spend some time AFKing out at CubFan's iron farm, the Iron Beast. And an hour and a half later, it built fully with the 64 villages, and I was able to collect iron for a few hours. So I should have enough there. I just need to go get it. And I told him that in exchange for letting me use his iron farm, I would hook him up with some of these goods. So I'm going to go ahead and put it together, a little trade, a little barter exchange from prismarine, I'll give him some lanterns and that kind of stuff, and I'll go grab that iron, and then we'll be able to set up another beacon, and I think I will do that opposite corner. That seems like a good idea for now, and eventually we'll have to get all these extra beacons going, and we'll be able to be super buff as we run around inside of our monument here. All right, we got a little care package together for Cub Fan. Here we go. I'm going to give him 4 stacks of pretty much everything I could make, except for dark prismarine, because I still can't afford the ink, but we're even going to give him some fish. How about that? So I'm just going to pick this up. We'll take it out to the iron farm and leave it there. Oh, I did want to mention this, guys. A lot of you guys suggested that I have an auto kill mode for those times that I'm not AFK. And it looks like we have some survivors, so maybe not 100% reliable just yet. But what I did was took out the water with some dispensers here. So the actual water that they would land in, you can just take it out. And by turning these off, and that would make them live, of course. So we don't want to do that. But yeah, they should auto die for the most part. I'm not sure how these guys ended up living, but that's okay. Can always just kill them off by replacing the water, right, in one of these dispensers with lava, and that would definitely spit out some lava and kill those guys for good. But anyway, yep, I am going to now head over to the iron farm over at Cub Fan's base, drop this off, and grab some iron. Found my way out here to Cub Fan's Iron Beast, and yep, we got some iron saved up. I'm starting to craft some blocks here. I did run into Cub. I had a hard time finding my way over here. He had a wall up over by his portal, and I had no idea it was on the other side. So finally found it, and I hooked him up with all that prismarine that I showed you earlier, and the fish and all that other good stuff. And I'm gonna go ahead and craft this up, and I'll probably just throw away the poppies so don't leave a mess here. But yeah, that we should definitely have enough to build a beacon pyramid. In fact, you only need what 2 stacks plus 36 or something like that. So right now we've already got enough, but I might as well take this other iron. I was the one that AFK'd for it, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab it because I'm sure we'll need it for hoppers and other things, especially after we just tore through almost 2 stacks of hoppers just on that furnace array. But anyway, yep, I'll finish getting all these crafted and head back home. Okay, now I've dug straight down from the corner here of the monument. We're going to build a beacon all the way down here at bedrock level. That is so we can get the most out of it, because if I put the beacon up there, it only goes down 50 blocks, and it's kind of like in a dome circle, a dome pattern. And yeah, we want to do it down here. That way we have like the full cylinder of 50 wide radius, powerful buff happening at all times. So that's why we do that. And plus, it's kind of down here out of the way. We can build this big old pyramid and it won't bother anybody. So all right, let me get this thing built up and we will set this to do something. I haven't even picked which buff I want yet. So as you can see, we decided to go with strength and regen as well as the resistance here. I think that's really going to help when it comes to killing these guardians, because now when they hit us with their thorns, we'll regen our hearts and hopefully won't need to eat as often. So we should save on some food there. But let's go ahead and get the sweeping edge going on these guys. We killed quite a lot of them with one hit, and that strength is going to come in handy with that as well to make sure that all these guys die after just one swing of my very powerful sharpness 5 sword. And yeah, so that's going to work out just great, I think. Also, I did some work here. I went ahead and put a little bit of some detail, some face onto this, so it's not just exposed. We still got to do something about this as well, but this is coming along. So you can see we're going to go for it. We're going to try the prismarine and sandstone look. I think it's looking pretty good. Had to kind of work around some of the details here on this guy because there's, you know, hoppers and redstone and stuff all over the place. So that was the best we could do as far as covering it up. But we need to make this obvious, what these chests mean. So we obviously know this is the output. So we'll go ahead and we'll put a item frame on that. And there's our glass. And this one at the middle here should be our fuel. So the fuel kind of goes in and goes to the back of these. So that makes sense that that one's going to be our fuel. So we're going to go ahead and put an item frame on that guy and put our coal on there. For now, we may change that to a blaze rod later. And then this would be our input. So something like sand or, you know, cobblestone or whatever we want to smelt. So in this case, I'll be using it mostly for glass. So it makes sense for me to go sand and glass as the input and the output of this guy. So there we go. And you can see if we take a look in this chest, I've already got almost a whole double chest full of glass smelted. The problem we have now is I don't want to use just regular clear glass for the walls. I think I want to use blue. And I'm not sure if I'm going to go with cyan or not. So I need to see kind of what they look like in the water. Now, I was using cyan, you know, for this. So you can see what that looks like. Let me see if I can find lapis somewhere. I can never find anything. I got all these shulker boxes out. And, oh, actually, I believe I keep my lapis, or I used to, in here. That'll work. Okay, so let's just make some straight, I think it would just be blue, right? If we dye the glass, and let's see what it looks like so we can get an idea of what we want to go with. So let's go ahead and do that. Yes, I think blue stained glass will look better than cyan in the water, and I think that's what we're going to go with. So I was just seeing if I had any other cyan glass somewhere that I can grab, but it looks like I don't. Wait, was that some dye? Nope, it wasn't. Okay. Well, yeah, oh, there it is. Okay, so if we set these kind of side by side, let's do this. Let's just make a little test area here just so we can truly decide what looks better up against water, and then we'll put water in that. Yep, I'm thinking blue. I'm thinking we make the walls this blue stained glass. That will work much better. Plus, I don't have to worry about getting the, what's it called? The cactus greens to make the dye. Since I don't really have a cactus farm or anything anymore. Before I had that one single cactus, it wasn't producing much anyway, but it got the job done for what we needed. But yeah, at least this case, we only need lapis, which still kind of makes me nervous because, I mean, well, I guess I have 45 blocks and one lapis will make 8 glass. So maybe we're good. Maybe we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and dye a bunch of glass, and then we're going to start constructing the outer walls of this thing out of it. It's going to look great. I can't wait. I was right. That does look absolutely amazing. We got one wall done, and we did it on stream. And didn't take too long, maybe about 30 minutes or so to put up all the glass and then take down the sand. But we did stumble across something that was pretty cool, pretty fun to do on stream. We basically brought the whole wall down in one like running swoop of sand, and it was pretty cool. So I know last time I talked about taking out the sand, everybody was, you know, not everybody, but I had a whole bunch of comments saying you should use, you know, the whole torch in the offhand shovel technique and kind of like take out the sand and put a torch there. Well, if I press down both buttons, that doesn't really work. That doesn't really work. And I think it's because this shovel is pretty good, right? We got a diamond shovel. Let's try just a regular shovel and see if that changes anything. So if I hold down, there we go. If I hold down, there we go. You can see we did get the torch on there, and that kind of does work. So yeah, if we do that, but you can see what's happening here is the wall's actually not falling. We're placing the torch so fast that it doesn't give the sand a chance to actually start to fall. And then it ends up just sitting on top of the torch. So we're actually going to do something fun with this. I'm going to do this whole wall like this. And then I'm going to take my really good shovel, and we're going to run across and take out all the blocks right above these torches in one running swoop. And I'm going to put my camera count on so you guys can kind of see the whole wall come tumbling down. It's going to be pretty cool. All right, here we go. Got the camera count on, and I'm going to start running across with my good shovel out, and hopefully the whole wall will come down. I did have one little spot in the wall that started to fall before I could get the torch down, so we didn't get it exactly perfect, but here we go. Take down the wall. Look at that. Oh, that is so cool looking. So cool looking. Look at that. Just all the sand fall at once. Oh, that is so awesome. I didn't take any suffocation damage or anything. I got to pick up the sand, though. We need it. Of course, I need to go down below a little bit more and clear out some more sand underneath this. But I just wanted to get that view because it is so cool looking. I'm glad we caught that on camera. Wow, I gotta say, that is a really cool view down here. I think when we do make the structure continue down to this floor level, we're going to leave some windows in here so you can see out into the ocean. That is just too cool to cover up with walls. We'll definitely do that. Definitely do that. So we'll have the basement here that has some windows out into the ocean, and then of course up on this floor we will leave some windows in as well, or actually put some in, I believe. And then, yeah, look at this, guys. 2 of the 4 walls are now down, replaced with glass. And it is looking really, really cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. Wow, this place is really coming along. It is great. I am so glad that we made this much progress this episode. I'm actually surprised. I didn't expect to do that much. But it was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe before you go. And with that said, I'll see you guys again next time. Have a good one, everyone.